Dreaming of your next getaway but not sure where to sail? Whether you're craving sun drenched beaches, ancient ruins, rugged natural beauty, or vibrant city life, there's a cruise destination out there with your name on it. In this video, we're breaking down the 7 most popular geographic cruise destinations around the world, from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean, from Alaska's glaciers to the wonders of Asia. You'll learn what makes each region special and the best time of year to visit. And here's a mind boggling fact for you: there are over 1,200 cruise ports around the world, with over 2,000 cruise destinations to choose from. But don't let those numbers overwhelm you. So grab your passport, or at least your travel bucket list, and let's set sail through the world's most amazing cruise destinations. Stick around to the end for one cruise that basically gives you one free week at sea. Probably the first place that comes to mind when people think of booking a cruise is the Caribbean. Sunny skies, sandy beaches, and happy people with a fruity drink in hand are images that spark that cruise interest. There are over 700 islands, islets, and keys in the Caribbean, but the vast majority are not open to cruise ship visitors. Most cruises are divided into 3 regions: Western Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, and Southern Caribbean. Western Caribbean itineraries are usually from 3 to 8 days in length and include Mexican destinations such as Cozumel and Costa Maya, along with other countries such as Honduras, Belize, and the Cayman Islands. Eastern Caribbean islands abound, and choices are as varied as the islands themselves. These cruises are usually around 7 to 8 days in length. You can visit the U.S. Virgin Islands of St. Thomas, St. Croix, and St. John, or the British Virgin Islands of Tortola, Jost Van Dyke, or Virgin Gorda. There's also St. Martin and the Dominican Republic to add to your list. Our favorite is the Southern Caribbean, with the ABC islands of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. You can also choose from Barbados, St. Lucia, Dominica, or a dozen or so other islands in the area. These cruises also tend to be a bit longer in length because it will take cruise ships departing from the U.S. a few extra days to reach them before returning to their home port. So if you're looking for fun in the sun, then a Caribbean cruise might be the right choice for you. The best time is from December through May when it's warm and sunny. Just remember that hurricane season runs from June through November. But what if you're looking for a cruise to a cooler and more majestic destination? Then an Alaska cruise might be a great choice for you. Cruising through spectacular scenery, catching sight of killer whales, bald eagles, and bears are just a few of the delights to be found in an Alaskan cruise. With cruises that depart from San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, and Anchorage, an Alaskan cruise offers you the opportunity to see and experience things that you can't by car. Alaska cruises journey through the Inside Passage and include stops at Ketchikan, which was once known for its gold, silver, and copper mines, but is now known as the salmon capital of the world. Skagway feels like it did during the gold rush days with its storefronts and saloons. It's also home to the White Pass and Yukon Railroad, also known as the scenic railway of the world. It's one of Alaska's most popular tours and shouldn't be missed. Landlocked Juneau, the capital of Alaska, has ice blue glaciers, misty rainforests, and mountains galore. But most people come to see a host of glaciers that have to be seen to be believed, such as Icy Strait Point, Tracy Arm Fjord, and of course, the majestic Glacier Bay. If you're lucky, you might see these majestic glaciers calving, which is when a part of it breaks away and falls into the water next to it, creating mini icebergs. Alaska cruising season generally runs from May through September, and if you go later in the season, you just might get lucky enough to see the northern lights. If it's not the natural outdoors, but history that appeals to you, then you should consider a Mediterranean cruise. Are you looking for a cruise that takes you into the past, where you can explore millennia-old amphitheaters, grand canals that are used for transportation rather than roads, or sun-kissed beaches overlooked by pastel or white towns built on mountainsides? Mediterranean cruises offer a multitude of cruise options, from Portugal, Spain, and the Canary Islands to Italy and the Amalfi Coast. to the Greek islands, and over to Croatia and the Dalmatian coast. You'll find islands to explore, including Corsica, Malta, and Crete. Dramatic volcanic activity has scored the land from Mount Etna on the east coast of Sicily to Mount Vesuvius, which buried Pompeii and Herculaneum for nearly 2,000 years, to the ancient Thera eruption of approximately 1600 BC, which created Santorini, which is actually built on the sides of the caldera of the volcano. Mediterranean cruises can include stops at Port Said, the gateway to the Suez Canal, and where you can explore Cairo, or Ashdod, Israel, where you can travel up to the holy city of Jerusalem, and stops in Turkey, where you can tour the ancient remnants of Ephesus, or begin or end your cruise in glittering Istanbul. Mediterranean cruises sail year-round, but the bulk of the season runs from April through October, when the weather is spectacular and the beaches are sunny and warm. But what if you're interested in more northerly regions and cooler temperatures? Then perhaps a Baltic Sea and Scandinavia cruise would be right for you. Witness the midnight sun on a Baltic Sea and Scandinavia cruise, exploring places like Copenhagen, Denmark, where Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid statue poses on a rock close to where your cruise ship will dock, or the medieval cobblestone streets of Old Town in Tallinn, Estonia, where dragons look down on the town square, or the canals of Amsterdam, where people live on boats and Anne Frank hid from the Nazis in a secret annex. Mariners explored this region by boats, and Oslo, Norway is the place to visit so you can see actual Viking ships that once sailed in the area, or walk upon the decks of the polar ship Fram, which conducted expeditions to the Arctic Ocean, to Greenland, and down to Antarctica. You can also see the Kon-Tiki, a raft Thor Heyerdahl sailed on from Peru to Polynesia in 1947. But the most spectacular ship you will ever see is in Stockholm, Sweden, where you will be dwarfed by the almost fully intact warship Vasa that sank on her maiden voyage in 1628. Many cruise ports in Germany, the Netherlands, and Poland have been rebuilt after being destroyed during World War II. These are starting points to take you further into these countries to learn more about what happened. Take a bus tour to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp from the port of Hamburg, Germany, or visit the largest brick church in the world in Gdansk, Poland, or stock up on some ceramic clogs in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. No cruise to the Baltics is complete until you sail down the majestic fjords of Norway. The towering cliffs are spellbinding as you sail down them. Visit the UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Geiranger Fjord, or explore Ålesund, Norway, the home of the largest cod fishing fleet in Norway, or visit the gateway to the glaciers in Olden, where you can actually walk on the shockingly blue ice. The fjords of Norway are remarkable to behold, and cruising through the Baltics is generally from late April through September, with July and August being peak season. But maybe you're more interested in exploring the exotic lands found on an Asia cruise. From Beijing to Tokyo to Bangkok, a cruise to Asia is an experience that is both mysterious yet high-tech. From the grandeur of the Great Wall of China to the tranquil gardens of Kyoto to the street food markets of Bangkok, your senses will be overwhelmed with the grandeur, beauty, and tastes of Asia. The big four countries of Asia include China, Japan, Singapore, and Thailand, each with its own unique flavor, architecture, and geographical beauty. But Asia is so much more than the Big Four. Seoul, South Korea is the capital city, where you can journey back in time to visit a folk village that resembled those during the Joseon dynasty, which lasted from 1392 to 1897. Or visit Halong Bay in Vietnam, which is teeming with junk boats and where you can rent a kayak to explore the 1,600 islands that are in the region, and maybe even paddle your way into a hidden grotto. If you're looking for something a bit more modern, then Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia is the place to see the two tallest towers in the world. Or in contrast, check out the Thion Hu Temple with its swooping roofline and red pillars. Luscious Lombok, Indonesia is where you will find beautiful waterfalls, a towering volcano, and beautiful beaches next to turquoise waters. Asia is a mix of the past, present, and future. The best time to visit Asia is from November to March when it isn't hot or humid and avoids the monsoon season, which is like hurricane season in the Caribbean. But perhaps you're more interested in the vast and varied landscapes to be found in Australia and New Zealand. The land down under beckons with the red desert outback of Australia, the otherworldly inspiration for the Lord of the Rings in New Zealand, and the siren call of Bali High to the South Pacific Islands. Australia is the usual jumping off point for cruises in this region, either out of Sydney or Melbourne. You can explore the Great Barrier Reef, where you can snorkel, swim, or dive. Just watch out for the great white sharks that call this area home. Remember the Tasmanian devil from your Saturday morning cartoons? Well, Tasmania is an actual place and is an island located off the coast of Australia. Visit Port Arthur, which was a penal colony dating back to the early 1800s, or visit the beautiful gardens of Hobart, which is known as the Jewel of the South. Wellington, New Zealand is where you can begin your journey to the land of the hobbits, or go on a Seal Coast safari tour where you can see spectacular scenery while learning about New Zealand fur seals. If it's the mysteries of Polynesia that you're searching for, then board your ship in Brisbane, Australia, and head for the lush islands of the South Pacific, such as Bora Bora, Moorea, Vanuatu, or Samoa. Gorgeous beaches, snorkeling amongst the coral, and whale watching make these islands perfect for outdoor adventures. Because Australia, New Zealand, and the South Pacific are located in the southern hemisphere, that means that their seasons are flipped. So the best time to visit in summer is actually during December to March. But what if you're more interested in sea days and just enjoying your time on board the ship itself? Then you simply must consider either a transatlantic or transpacific cruise. Transatlantic and transpacific cruises are just that, cruises that cross the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. In the spring, cruise lines will send some of their ships from the United States and Caribbean to Europe for the summer season. These eastbound transatlantic cruises usually end in ports such as Southampton, England, Copenhagen, Denmark, and Barcelona, Spain. Along the way, they'll stop at a few cruise ports in places like the Canary Islands, Portugal, and Spain. In the fall, the ships will undertake a westbound transatlantic cruise with similar stops as the eastbound cruise taken in the spring. A Trans-Pacific cruise crosses the Pacific Ocean, just like a transatlantic cruise crosses the Atlantic Ocean. There are a few differences, however, when planning a Trans-Pacific cruise. First off, when heading from North America, you can take a westbound Trans-Pacific cruise that starts from Vancouver, Canada, Seattle or Los Angeles or Hawaii in the United States to places like Japan or Australia. An eastbound Trans-Pacific cruise would be the reverse. The big thing if choosing a Trans-Pacific cruise is to remember that if going to or from Australia, that their seasons are reversed. So the best time to do a Trans-Pacific cruise is similar to a transatlantic cruise, which will be in either spring or fall. So here's a big secret. A transatlantic or Trans-Pacific cruise basically gives you a free week at sea. Since most transatlantic cruises are around the same price as a regular 7 or 8 day cruise, you're basically sailing for free during the week it takes to cross the ocean. How does this work? Well, it's due to no port fees during that week you are crossing the ocean. That's what keeps the cost down for the cruise line. But that's also why transatlantic and transpacific cruises are so popular. You get a 2 week cruise vacation for the price of one. So if you can spare 2 weeks of vacation time, you might want to consider taking a transatlantic or transpacific cruise. We love them. So those are the big 7 cruise destinations to help start your search in planning your next cruise. Cruises truly are the ultimate way to see the world without the hassle, if you choose correctly. They bundle transportation, accommodations, and entertainment into one seamless package, letting you experience multiple cultures without worrying about logistics. You unpack once, but wake up somewhere new every day. The perfect cruise isn't about the fanciest ship. It's about matching the right destination, season, and activities to your personal dream vacation. So after watching this video, where are you cruising next? Let me know in the comment section below. And check out these videos showing you what it's like to take one of those transatlantic cruises with a free week at sea. Thanks for watching.